Your location's demographics plays a huge role in your newsletter's growth. And today in this video, I'll teach you how to analyze these demographics to choose the perfect place to launch, because you might live in a particular area, you might be in a particular age group, but that might not be the right group of people like yourself, to target to make the most money for your newsletter. And so I want to show you this website in today's video. This is niche.com. This is a US based website. And what it does, one part of what it has, is it allows you to analyze different cities, towns, neighborhoods, states, in order to find where the best place to live is. Now, I'll leave a link down in the description to this tool, as well as our AI tool that we're currently looking for beta testers for, that will write your local newsletter for you by just providing it with a few URLs from websites that you want to include. Now, what this has is it has several sections, and one of those sections allows you to identify the best cities to live in based on certain criteria. And the criteria I picked here is the best cities to retire to, because if you live in Scottsdale, for example, then maybe if you're in your 20s or your 30s, writing a newsletter for your age group is not the best move, because this is a great place for people to retire to. Retirees have a lot of disposable income. They're interested in going out and accessing certain services, especially during the day. And so creating a local newsletter for them that's not all doom and gloom, but is targeted specifically to their interests, will allow you to get the right sponsors and advertisers into that local newsletter. And what it's going to allow you to do is make more money than if you're targeting the wrong demographic. So if I go into Scottsdale here, for example, this is the #1 best city to retire to. I'd have to first of all obviously make sure there were no major competitors. But what I can do is I can go through and I can analyze it and find out why this is best for retirees. And that's going to help me figure out how to write my newsletter and what to include in it. So we can see here, we've got some information about Scottsdale. I can see that my population is big enough. Now, we do have a video here on the channel that allow you to learn a little bit more about picking city size, because it is important. It's going to help you figure out if you're going to make a decent amount of money or not, and whether it's worth your time and effort. I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video. But I can see that the home value is nice and high, and I like the fact that we've got quite a large ownership in the area, because this is going to allow me to do two things. It's going to allow me to get a realtor as a sponsor for my newsletter, and it's going to help me to get home services business, high ticket ones. And I could have these working on a 3-month or 6-month advertising deal, or with especially a luxury or a high-end realtor. They might sponsor my newsletter for the entire year, giving me an upfront cash flow that's going to allow me to either invest that into something like Facebook ads to grow the business, or it's going to allow me to put that money into my pocket. So let's go through and pick out a few other things that I would be looking for that this website provides me with. And you can find these websites for all sorts of different countries, so just go find the equivalent in your area if you're not targeting the US. Okay, so I'm not too interested in public or private schools when it comes to this particular area, because as we know, we're targeting retirees. However, it might be something with families that I might want to target as instead, okay, because I can see that it gets quite good grades for public schools and good for families. So if retirees didn't really take my fancy, then a parenting style newsletter would be good. And as I had quite a large population, I could target either quite easily. Okay, so I can see here what is going on in terms of diversity. I can see that I have an older retiring or coming up to retiring population, which is good news. And I can see that quite a lot of people in the area have got higher level qualifications. And what that's going to allow me to do is get an understanding of the type of people that are living in the area, which is going to help me decide the type of content, and it's going to help me decide the type of advertisers as well. We've got a nice high household income, higher than national average, which tells me that people have got money to spend, which means they are going to click on my links whether it is a restaurant or whether it is a home services, and they could buy from the people who are my advertisers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these reviews, I've got 426 of them, and I'm going to analyze them. So I could easily put them into one of the AI tools that we have. We have free AI tools that you can use that are designed specifically for this, or you can go into ChatGPT, and I would just cut and paste these reviews, and I would get ChatGPT or our tool to analyze them. And what it will allow us to do is it's going to allow us to pick out the themes, pick out what people are interested in, what they like, what they don't like about the area, and then that's going to help me figure out what content would really resonate for the people who live in this particular area and what they would like me to cover, which means straight away then I can include that in sections in my newsletter. And like I said before, that's what our AI tool does. It allows you to write out your newsletter using AI. AI is going to write all of it for you. All you have to do is provide the relevant sources of information. So a link to a restaurant in the local area that you're advertising, a link to maybe some local news, whatever it is that you decide you're going to include in your newsletter, and then the AI will write the whole thing for you. Okay, so that's the process that I would be going through in order to decide whether the location demographics are right, and therefore make sure that my local newsletter contains the right content that's going to resonate with the people that live in that particular area. And I should mention as well, I probably wouldn't be writing for families and for retirees in the same newsletter. I would either decide to go general, or I would niche down, go just for families or just for retirees. And like I said, if you watch this video here on the screen now, then that will help you decide if the city size, like Scottsdale, is big enough in order to be able to niche down further and just do a parenting or just do a retirees newsletter. So watch that video now, and we'll see you in the next one.